welcome to the North Florida, South Georgia Veterans Health System's groundbreaking ceremony. Today we are here to celebrate the construction of the new Jacksonville VA outpatient clinic and domiciliary for veterans who receive their VA health care in our local area, Northeast Florida and South Georgia.
Thank you all for showing your support today. I'm Melinda Screws, the Chief Medical Officer for the Jacksonville VA Outpatient Clinic, and I'll be your MC for the program today. We'll officially start today's program with a Pledge of Allegiance provided by United States Marine Corps veteran Matthew Jason Guthrie, and then this will be followed by our invocation with Chaplain Franklin Wester. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. So we pause now to give thanks for this moment and to pray. Let us pray. God Almighty, both Lord of hosts and a mother hen who gathers her chicks under her wings, we praise you for all the people and providence that brings us to this moment of celebration. With energy and hope, we break ground for this new clinic and domiciliary. We are grateful for the vision, preparation, and planning. Space is cleared, the good earth opened, utilities laid, and workers set to their tasks of raising up a future home for veterans. May each day, week, and month get us closer to completion and opening operations. Just as you stretch out the heavens above us as our home, sun and clouds, star, moon, and night sky, may the walls and roof of the facilities be a safe and hopeful abode for future veteran residents and patients. May these be houses built with love, and Lord, provide our staff with the care, competence, and commitment to bring hope and healing. Most of all, we pray for all those veterans and their families who will directly benefit from these facilities and service. We praise you for all the people and providence that bring us to this moment of celebration. We lift our hearts and prayers in praise. Amen.
Thank you. I'd like to now introduce our guests that are seated on the stage to my left. It's our keynote speaker today, Michael Fleming, Brigadier General, retired. Mr. David Isaacs, Executive Director, North Florida, South Georgia, Veterans Health System. Mr. Gary Hollis, Northeast Regional District Director for Senator Rick Scott. Ms. Wendy Dotter, Deputy Director, North Florida, South Georgia, Veterans Health System. And Chaplain Franklin Wester, you just met, Chaplain of our Jacksonville VA Outpatient Clinic. From my right is Mr. Chad Adams, Associate Director for Operations, North Florida, South Georgia Veteran Health Systems. Mr. Bill Spann, Director of Military Affairs and Veterans Department for the Office of the Mayor of Jacksonville. Ms. Ashley Cook, Regional Director for Senator Marco Rubio. And Mr. Jason Guthrie, United States Marine Corps veteran, who led us in our Pledge of Allegiance. In addition, I would like to recognize all of our civic leaders, our veteran service organization members, our community partners, friends, and our staff for being with us today. Thank you all. Now, please welcome Mr. David Isaacs, Executive Director for North Florida, South Georgia Veterans Health Systems. He will provide remarks. Mr. Isaacs was appointed as the Director of the North Florida, South Georgia Health System in August of this year. With dedication to the organization's I Care values,
integrity, commitment, advocacy, respect, and excellence. He oversees our healthcare delivery system for the entire organization, which includes 2 medical centers, 14 outpatient clinics, and more than 5,800 employees.
All right, well, good morning. So on behalf of the North Florida South Georgia Veterans Health System, thank you all for being with us today as we commemorate the significant milestone in the future of service to veterans in Duval County. I would especially like to thank our distinguished guests for their assistance in this important project and their continued support of the veterans that we serve. Since initially opening the very first Jacksonville Outpatient Clinic in 2013, Jacksonville has experienced continued growth in both the number of individual veterans served, but also the services and appointments completed. The need for this new facility is apparent. Today we take our first steps with increasing access and modernizing our system and improving the patient experience here in the Jacksonville market and surrounding areas. This new clinic will be co-located with a brand new domiciliary, which will provide an additional 30 beds of residential treatment capacity for our health system. Currently, we offer these services in both Lake City and Gainesville. This will give us the substantial opportunity to treat veterans with intensive mental health needs, veterans who may be dealing with substance use disorders, post-traumatic stress disorder, homelessness, and more. All the existing services that veterans residing in the Jacksonville area are accustomed to will continue and remain options of care, with the exception of the addition of radiology services, which will include the ability to perform MRIs, CT scans, mammography, ultrasound, and general radiography. In keeping with our promise to veterans, we are committed to delivering a new state-of-the-art clinic, which will ensure building construction is modern and designed to meet the VA's patient-aligned care team PAC standards. Jacksonville has been one of our larger focus areas because of growth, and I'm extremely pleased that our professional and competent staff will be providing care with such a beautiful and modern clinic. This is certainly a great achievement for the Florida South Georgia Veterans Health System, as well as for our veterans and our partners within the Duval County, and most important, many of the veterans that serve right here in Jacksonville. So as we break ground on these new facilities, we can be assured that they will not only meet the needs of veterans today, but will deliver on our promise to provide veterans with the level of service they rightfully expect and deserve in the future. So may God bless you, God bless our great country, and the men and women who defend her. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Now please welcome Mr. Chad Adams, Associate Director, North Florida South Georgia Veterans Health System, to read remarks on behalf of Dr. Miguel Lapuz, our Vision 8 Network Director. Mr. Adams.
Dr. Lapuz sends his regrets that he can't be with us today due to other commitments. He did offer some words to share as we celebrate the groundbreaking of our newest Jacksonville VA campus. Jacksonville is home to one of the largest veteran populations in the state of Florida. We are honored to serve more than 45,000 at the current facilities in Jefferson, University Boulevard, and South Point, as well as the Naval Hospital. The new outpatient clinic and domiciliary will bring additional service to the north part of Jacksonville, which is the fastest growing area. It will replace the current lease sites at South Point and University Boulevard. The new facilities will bring under two roofs a multitude of services, including primary care and many specialty services, such as radiology, optometry, pathology, women's health, mental health service, and importantly, the campus will also provide a 30-bed domiciliary, which will allow the staff to provide much needed exceptional rehabilitation and treatment for homeless veterans. While he's not here today with shovel in hand, he is excited for us to break ground at this beautiful new site that will further strengthen our commitment to providing the best health care for veterans across the region.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. Next, we'll have remarks from Jacksonville City Council member, Mr. Reggie Gaffney.
Good morning. It's a exciting day today. I remember about a year and a half ago when I got a phone call from the guy, Mr. Steve Legg, who owned this land, saying, Councilman Gaffney, what you think about a VA clinic going out coming to your district? I was delighted. I was so joyful because a week before we had a council meeting, a couple of my colleagues were saying, where are the VA's clinic coming? Because I want it in my district. So I thank God for just allowing this particular facility to be in District 7, which is one of the fastest growing districts in the city of Jacksonville. I thank you, Steve, for actually taking the task and teaming up with VA. But more than that, I thank you leaders in the back. But more than anything else, on behalf of my colleagues who wanted to be here today, as well as the mayor, I know Ms. Spann probably going to say something about the mayor. I tried to reach him this morning and say, look, probably one of the most important opportunities in the city is getting ready to happen this morning. Can you come? He said, no, I give my regrets. I called the council president, and he was in another meeting. But saying that, thank you, VA, for choosing Northeast Florida, but more than that, Jacksonville. I am looking forward for the resources that the city of Jacksonville could bring. God bless America, and I'm so ecstatic and rejoiced for the day for this opportunity. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Gaffney. Next, Mr. Bill Spann, Director, Military Affairs and Veterans Department for the Office of the Mayor of Jacksonville, would like to say a few words. Mr. Spann?
Thanks, Doctor. Councilman Gaffney, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate your remarks on behalf of the council, and on behalf of Mayor Curry. Would like to thank you all for being here. Anybody that wants to see visible proof of the VA's commitment to Northeast Florida and to Duval County need look no further than right here. This is going to be an incredible asset for veterans. It's going to be an incredible asset for our town and our county, and for Northeast Florida, and for all the vets that are here. There's over 150,000 vets in Northeast Florida, about 50,000 active duty and DoD civilians. We serve about somewhere around 10,000 a year in our office with about 18 employees, get them about $27.5 million of new VA money every year. We call that OPM, other people's money. So it's always good. It's a good, worthy effort to come to work each day, and I just thank you all for being here, and it's a wonderful to be a part of it. And again, on behalf of Mayor Curry, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now we will take a brief pause for the inclusion of video remarks by Congressman Rutherford.
Hello, I'm Congressman John Rutherford, representing the 4th Congressional District of Florida. I wish I could be there with you today for the groundbreaking of the Jacksonville's new VA outpatient clinic. This is a major accomplishment for our region, and we are so excited to have another place for the 150,000 veterans and their families in Northeast Florida to access top healthcare services. America owes our brave servicemen and women a debt of gratitude, and that includes taking care of them after their service is finished. With this new VA facility, we're working to fulfill that debt and say thank you to our veterans. Congratulations to everyone that has worked so hard to get this accomplished. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Congressman Rutherford. Mr. Gary Hollis, Northeast Regional District Director for Senator Rick Scott, would now like to provide some brief remarks on behalf of the Senator. Mr. Hollis.
Good morning, everyone. Senator Scott is up in Washington today trying to finalize the National Defense Bill, so we're hoping to get that done. But he did send a letter that I'd like to read to you briefly. Dear friends, congratulations to the Jacksonville VA Outpatient Clinic and Domiciliary on the groundbreaking of your new facility, and thank you for your continued efforts to support our American heroes. As a Navy veteran myself and the son of a World War II veteran, I know firsthand the sacrifices our veterans, military members, and their families make to defend our freedom. Those who have served in our armed forces truly represent the best of what it means to be an American and a Floridian. None of the opportunities and freedoms we have as Americans would be possible without the dedicated service of our brave heroes. Throughout my time as governor of Florida, I made it my mission to turn our state into the most military and veteran-friendly state in the nation. Fighting for our heroes continues to be one of my top priorities as a U.S. Senator and a member of the Armed Services Committee. I will always do everything I can to support our veterans and their families so they can succeed and pursue their dreams in our state. Again, congratulations on your new facility, and thank you for your service to the state and our veteran community. You have my best wishes for your continued success. Sincerely, Senator Rick Scott. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Hollis. Appreciate that. Now we would like to have Ms. Ashley Cook, Regional Director for Senator Marco Rubio, provide remarks on behalf of Senator Rubio.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Senator Rubio, I would like to congratulate the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs on today's groundbreaking of the new Jacksonville Outpatient Clinic and Domiciliary. The new clinic is expected to serve over 23,000 veterans and will provide primary care and specialty care for veterans and rehabilitation and treatment for homeless veterans. The importance and need of this facility cannot be emphasized enough. Jacksonville is the fastest growing veteran population for the North Florida South Georgia Health System. Veterans have answered our nation's call, and now it is our responsibility to serve them. Senator Rubio would like to thank all of those who are making this clinic and domiciliary possible, and asks that God bless the continued efforts for our veterans and the great state of Florida. Thank you.
Thank you. I now ask Ms. Wendy Dotter, Deputy Director, North Florida South Georgia Veterans Health System, to take the stage to introduce our keynote speaker for today's event.
Thank you, Dr. Screws. For some of us, this is just so exciting to finally see this happening, so thank you everyone for being here. It's my honor to introduce Michael P. Fleming, Brigadier General, retired. Mike is a prominent Northeast Florida military veteran leader who served in significant leadership positions in both his military and professional careers. He currently serves as the Outreach Director for the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic at Centerstone in Jacksonville and co-chair of the Northeast Florida Community Veterans Engagement Board. Mike previously served as the Senior Vice President of University Relations and Development for Jacksonville University, with responsibility over developing and maintaining effective relations with key government, military, and community leaders to enhance achievement of the university's strategic goals. He holds a Bachelor of Science from Jacksonville State University, a Master's of Business Administration from the University of North Florida, and a Master's of Arts from the United States Naval War College. Mike was a career military officer for over 30 years, including 9 years of service in the United States Marine Corps and 27 years in the Army National Guard, where he ultimately retired as a Brigadier General. Please join me in offering a warm round of applause for our keynote speaker, Mr. Mike Fleming.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction. I'm humbled to be out here, not only to be attending this, but as a keynote speaker at this great groundbreaking ceremony. As you've heard the speakers before, this new facility is reflective of the VA's commitment to serve our nation's veterans from all eras in the most professional and modern environment. We owe an unending debt of gratitude for the sacrifice our veterans have made the pain they endured, and the hardships they suffered to ensure our country's flame of freedom would never be extinguished. Throughout the long history of our nation, we've been blessed with heroes willing to sacrifice their freedom to protect and defend our own. Our veterans have established a legacy of sacrifice, commitment, and patriotism that is unsurpassed in human history. People today talk of heroes, an athlete who scores the winning touchdown, an Olympic gold medal winner, a popular actor. While they may do heroic deeds within the context of their sport or trade, these are not heroes, for they do not risk themselves, their lives. Heroes are those who risk their lives so others do not have to risk theirs. When the prophet Isaiah was asked by the Lord, "Whom shall I send? Who will go for us?" Isaiah replied, "Here I am, send me." Whenever our nation is called, we have been blessed with men and women who have answered, "Here I am, send me." Patriotism and a servant-like attitude, putting others ahead of self, is at the core of our military. Throughout our history, Americans of all walks of life and races have answered this call and given their lives for those principles and values we cherish so highly. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "If a man hasn't discovered something he will die for, he isn't fit to live." What do we owe those who have served our country? My strong belief is that we should honor these heroes and their families by working collaboratively across the veteran ecosystem. Fortunately, we are blessed to have a spirit of cooperation throughout the Northeast Florida veterans ecosystem. You may wonder why someone who is not a politician or VA employee is a keynote speaker. I believe my selection reflects the commitment of the VA's North Florida, South Georgia leadership team to work collaboratively with other organizations committed to serving veterans. While the VA certainly has significant resources and is the lead for veterans in our nation, they understand that the VA alone cannot address every veteran's or military family's needs, so it is crucial to work as a community team to effectively serve our veterans. I can speak from personal experience of this spirit of collaboration. The VA established community veterans engagement boards across the United States to strengthen the bond between the VA and their local community. My good friend Bruce Thompson and I became co-chairs of the Northeast Florida CVEB, and our first task was to select the board members. We were very fortunate. Dr. Melinda Screws immediately volunteered to serve on the CVEB. And then when Josh Pridgeon assumed his leadership role, he immediately asked to be on the CVEB. These CVEBs were created to make sure that the bond between the VA and the community is never broken and improved. So the personal involvement by both Josh and Dr. Screws has made our CVEB much more effective, as whenever we have received an issue involving the VA, we turn to the VA leadership team and they immediately take action. Our VA leadership team, and I'd say ours because it's part of our whole community, our VA leadership team is involved in multiple collaboration initiatives, and they are always looking to partner. For example, as mentioned, I'm blessed to be the outreach director for the Stephen A. Cole Military Family Clinic at Centerstone. David Isaacs, Josh, and Dr. Screws have all visited our clinic to discuss how we can collaborate more and do much more for our veterans. Additionally, what you've seen as far as the VA and the Navy hospital and the work with the Navy leadership is a model that is being used across our nation. As a native of Jacksonville, I am so proud that the Jacksonville area is the most veteran and military-friendly veteran community in the United States. We have earned this title not solely because we have tremendous organization, but because the leaders of each of these organizations realizes that the need for collaboration is crucial to make sure we serve our veterans. Leaders such as Mike Lennington with the Wounded Warrior Project, Dee Caranta with Northeast Florida Women Veterans, Rory Diamond with Canines for Warriors, Michelle McManaman, Operation Uniform, Lynn Loving with 5-Star Veterans Center, and countless others all actively seek to partner with a tremendous VA team so we can more effectively serve our veterans. I'd like to close with a quote from Teddy Roosevelt called "The Man in the Arena" that really captures the spirit, I think, of military men and women and what we should be doing to serve them. He said, "It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. That talks about the man in the arena, but obviously we have men and women in the arena who are serving our country. These brave patriots who have served our country deserve our best. As we celebrate this groundbreaking, I would ask that each of you remember this sacrifice and recommit to work side by side to support those who have served us. Thank you.
Thank you, General Fleming. We really appreciate your service to our nation before now and to our community now. And it's been an honor and a privilege to work with you and with all of you as we strive to meet the needs of our veterans and their families together. So I just want to thank everybody for being with us today. We will now conclude today's program. Thank you for joining us as we commemorate this special occasion. Please join us over at the Shovels and we'll do our official groundbreaking there. The groundbreaking will be conducted by today's program participants and the following individuals: Katrina Jack Tribble, Richard Baer, Sam Alverson, Dolores Quaranta, Bruce Thomas, and Josh Pridgeon. Thank you all.